108 Gate, where we're looking at the word freedom and doing part 2 of this reading. So we're looking at aspects of freedom. What does freedom mean to you? We're looking at the energies of the word, and any questions that come up, any answers that come up that lead to sometimes more questions, and going into the energy of it with the tarot and the oracle. So the first oracle that we're going to have here is the one from the last reading. So part 1 is already up before this one. This is part 2, and the reason we're doing a part 2 because it felt like there was some almost like a fork. You could go one way or the other, or there was another aspect of it, but because it was such a deep intricate reading before, that's why I split it up into 2. So this is part 2. Here we go. Grounding. The beginning is where you need to be. So freedom, once you've established your freedom, once you've obtained aspects of freedom, then where do you go from that? It's acknowledging where the freedom lies, acknowledging how the freedom lies, acknowledging therefore how to sustain that level of freedom, because it could be easy to fall back into old patterns. It can be easy to give up your freedom again. We become accustomed to certain loops. So it's to be aware of those loops and come out of it. So peace, be calm, and calm will come. Finding the peace in that sense of freedom, so that there is an acknowledgement and a reference point. So if you do come out of elements of freedom, if you come away from actually being in your freedom, if you think about the peace you can feel, and look at the peace you can feel, be calm and calm will come, and then you can kind of bring yourself back to that I want to say extravagance of freedom. The reason I'm saying that is it's not an easy thing to achieve. It's not always an easy thing to retrieve. It's if you think about, just not in a heavy way, but just generally, like briefly, think about how many people are going through a fight in some way, shape or form for freedom right now. There's a whole spectrum of different things people are fighting for. There's a whole array of causes that are being fought for. There's voices that need to be heard. There are opinions that are being thwarted and silenced, and there's violence coming up. So really take a moment in your time to connect with the emotions of your freedom, acknowledging your freedom, appreciating your freedom, and who knows where your seed of freedom is going to expand and provide fuel and energy and resonance for someone else to also have freedom. Wow, that's quite profound. Sorry, I've still got a sniffy nose. Really apologise. Endurance. Hold on. You can do this. So that's exactly what I was saying earlier. There's some parts of, I did say it's going to be a bit difficult for some because of the nature of it. It's really going to pull up some old memories. It's going to pull up some old emotions. It's going to pull up some things that you would rather have just let go of and let dissipate or disappear. Thing is, if there's residue there, it's going to come up. Bring in your courage and strength now, so that you have the resources that you require to combat this, to face this with a sense of security and safety, as opposed to feeling insecure or shaking your foundation. Let your foundation be strengthened. Knight of Wands, there you go, and then proceed forward. The beginning is where you need to be, right there, because you know where you need to go. Eventually you will. One moment, please. Sorry. Really sorry about that. It's almost like I need to put some music on or something so you don't have to hear me sniffling. Sorry about that. So peace, 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 peace. Judgment. Judging it correctly. Where are judgments made incorrectly? Where can judgments be made correctly? Where can they be simply changed, altered, reevaluated, reassign meaning to things, realign with a different way of perceiving things, with a different way of perceiving self. Therefore, others perceive you in a different way. There's so much to this that it really could be one of those readings that we could go into at least an hour or so. But like I said, I want to kind of keep it bite-sized so that we are able to work on things, because it does get overwhelming. We don't know what's going to get pulled up and showing. Sorry, just another one flew out. King of Swords. Okay, so we've got intense. So with the peace, be calm and calm will come. Re-evaluating in the judgment what is not. What we thought things were, what we thought things were not. They might be shifting and changing. As we do that, you got the Knights of Serpents. There's going to be things that come to our consciousness and subconscious awareness. And I'm saying subconscious awareness because it's going to shift emotions. And sometimes when you get that feeling of you can sense something, but you don't quite know what it is, it's going to start shifting more of that subconscious awareness to then allow it to come into the consciousness. You need to be aware of the beginning is where you need to be. So when you get to where you need to be, the subconsciousness then knows it can start pulling on the momentum. It can start bringing in the momentum to actually start letting the consciousness be aware of what has to happen, what needs to be applied, what needs to be subtracted, what needs to be dismantled, what needs to be built up, all those kind of things. Freedom. What was your initial sense of freedom? Has your sense of freedom changed? When you thought you needed to be free of something, was that something actually you needed to nurture and hold on to? Something you needed to hold on to, is that actually something you need to be free of? A false sense of security. There's a whole different load of questions coming up here. So I won't be surprised if we kind of hit on these subjects again. It's probably inevitable, actually, because it's so deep. It's going to come up possibly in a different way, though. So endurance, hold on. You can do this. The process is not going to be simple. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be, okay, you wake up today, you get it done, task is done, complete, tick, go to sleep. It's a process that's going to take a while. It's going to be shifting and changing so many different things. It could be lifetimes. It could be ancestral stuff. It could be generational stuff. There's so much stuff there. Don't actually know how long it's going to take. Hence, the Nine of Cups. Need to master the emotions to be able to navigate this. Or navigating this is where you're going to be able to master the emotions. Or both. With that, it's going to be the clarity that comes in the feminine energy, the feminine being aware of a certain clarity coming in around the masculine energy, understanding why the masculine does certain things, understanding how the masculine operates. This is going to bring in a more precise way of navigating and understanding and interpreting emotions. All of this as a process is going to allow for more freedom. Freedom, it depends on how you see it, what you require of it, and what it offers you. Really go into that and think about, what does freedom mean to you? Is it that you can eat the food that you know is safe to eat? Is it that you have the choice to go from country to country with ease? What is freedom for you? Let us know in the comments. I think this is even like one of those things that people should possibly be having more discussions about. Because we kind of have, we think we have a lot of freedom. On some level we do. On some level we don't. If anything, it feels like more and more of our freedoms are being hindered and reduced, and minuscule aspects of it are just being like brought in, so we don't even know that our freedoms are taken from us. So it's like the analogy of you put a frog in cold water and just turn the temperature up so the water gets hot, 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 hot to boiling point. It doesn't understand. It doesn't can't feel so much that it's actually in boiling water. Then I know it's going to be hot, but as opposed to boiling water and then the frog going in, then it's a whole different experience. What is freedom for you? Do we just have that little tap, 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 taking freedom, taking freedom, taking freedom, that we don't even realise our freedoms have been taken? Retrieve it back, retrieve it back, retrieve it back, retrieve it back, acknowledging I've gained my freedom back again. It works both ways. Right, for now, I'm going to say enjoy that, and for now, until tomorrow, peace and love.